Good morning, everyone. Hi there, it's Megan here, the faithful fibromyalgia warrior, also known as Healing Foods Coach. Today's topic, my top 4 favorite carnivore truths. There's a lot of them that are really cool, and so many things I've learned since going on the carnivore diet, and that would apply, to be quite fair, whether you follow keto, ketovore, carnivore, lion, or low carb. But these are the first ones that meant the most to me, and these are still my top 4 favorite truths that I've learned since going on the carnivore diet. In order of preference for me, okay. 1, we do not need any fiber in our diets when we eat an animal-based diet. We do not need to eat fiber. Why is this? Well, for those of you who are wondering, if we are consuming mostly animal products, we are not dealing with massive amounts of the plant fibers and materials that take a very, very long time to get through our digestive tract. Therefore, we do not need fiber to help move those through our digestive tracts and through our guts. And let me tell you, the fact that I do not need fiber in my diet was a huge relief because it was one of the main triggers for me when my IBS was at its worst. So when I went carnivore, I no longer had to worry about consuming enough fiber in my diet. If you're eating mostly animals, you do not need to worry about getting fiber. Okay, it's just one kind of plant to help you digest and move through and metabolize other plants. So that's number 1. Number 2, saturated fats are good for us. They are excellent for our health. In fact, this has always been true, but of course, there are those who had said in the past, I'm referring here in particular to members of the American Heart Association, who helped also work with and found the first ever dietary food guidelines, which said saturated fats from an animal source were bad for us. They convinced the American public and the public globally that fats were the cause of heart disease and problems. Sugar was in fact a harmless, empty calorie and nothing to be worried about, when the opposite was true. If you want to know more about this, check out the very, very, very in-depth videos that are out by Dr. Anthony Chafee, where he goes into this with greater detail. And in fact, Dr. Philip Ovadia, who is a cardiothoracic surgeon, who is also a carnivore, speaks to this at great length. But saturated fats coming from an animal source are the most bioavailable and easy for us to not only digest, but to metabolize and to utilize in our bodies. They are not bad for us. Woo! Because I love me some fatty beef and butter. Red meat does not cause cancer. There has never been a single study that has shown any causative link between the eating of red meats and the development of cancer. It is simply not true. Again, it goes back to the days of fear mongering, when big sugar and big pharma and big foods worked together to convince us all that red meat was the problem, that if we ate more plant materials, if we ate leaner cuts of beef, if we switched to, better fish options and all that kind of malarkey, that was going to help us have better health. We've all listened. Those of us who are in our 40s and older, we follow the guidelines, we listen to the advice, and yet obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease is at an all-time high. Go figure. So, red meat is not causative of cancer. And also, There's increasing amounts of, I should go back a second, sorry. There's increasing amounts of cancer rates among people who are doing exactly what they were told and avoiding things like red meat. Red meat is not the cause of cancer. Thank goodness, because like I said before, I loves me some ground beef. Oh yes. And I enjoy a really well done, like a really well cooked steak. I don't mean like well done, like medium rare is my preference, but someone who can prepare a steak well, love it. Okay, I love a good steak and ground beef. I'm all over that. Red meat does not cause cancer at all. Also, the final thing, my final favorite truth that I've discovered while being a carnivore these past 4 years is we do not need to take supplements for vitamins and minerals when we are eating an animal-based diet because everything our body requires can be obtained from what we're eating. Now, if you are a plant-only, you're eating a plant-only diet, there will be vitamins and minerals, yes. They are not as easily digested and metabolized, and some of them are quite difficult to even absorb and utilize by the human body coming from a plant source. And so you very well may have to get additional supplements, get a multivitamin pill, because you could very well be under consuming what you require if you are mostly on a plant-based diet. Okay? When you are eating an animal-based diet and you reduce your carbohydrate intake, the amounts of certain vitamins and minerals are less. You don't need to have as much in the supplement because you've taken the plants out. Plants have anti-nutrients, phytochemicals, natural toxins. They also come with oxalates, a lot of them. All of these things will have an effect on how well you can digest, metabolize, and absorb whatever vitamins and minerals could be there. Also, when we're talking just strictly food preparation, when you have to soak beans or ferment them, boil them, bake them, roast them, cook them after soaking them, by the time you get around to eating them, a lot of the nutrients that would have been there, a lot of the vitamins and minerals, have actually been lost in the preparation process before you can even eat them. And that is definitely significantly less, or not, or in some cases not even an issue when we're talking meats. When you cook your meat, obviously some of the nutrients will be lost somewhat because you're cooking, but there's so much in there to start with, it's minimal. Whereas with plant materials, not the case. So when you have to soak your legumes and pulses, even by the time, let's say if you're eating seeds and nuts, you cannot eat those raw. They have to be processed in a specific way, depending on what it is, or else they're toxic for humans, right? You're not going to eat a raw cashew. They are highly poisonous to the body, can make you very sick if you pick them off the tree and eat them raw. You can't. You can't. You have to take the skins off. They have to be blanched and roasted, or whatever is done with the nuts and legumes and pulses and seeds and grains and cereals. They cannot be eaten raw by humans. Only animals can eat them raw because of their multiple stomachs. We cannot. Okay, but in the process of making them safe to eat, we've already lost a fair bit of the nutrients that were there as far as vitamins and minerals. If we then have to soak them again or cook them, boil them, prepare them even further, we lose more of the nutrients. And so in that case, we will often have to take a multivitamin supplement to make up for all the nutrients that we lose in the cooking, preparing process. I know, I'm going on about this. Sorry. But when we are eating a mostly animal-based diet, we can eat so much of these things with little cook time or prep involved. And these are animals that hold on to so much rich minerals and vitamins that what is stored in their muscle meat and in their fat cells that we consume is there for us. It's not easily lost like it is when you're preparing plants. Okay. And so therefore we do not need to spend money and go out and buy multivitamins, because everything we require is in the animal that we eat. Also, another amazing, cool bonus and truth is that when it comes to things like vitamins and minerals, in the absence of carbohydrates, especially when we cut out things like added sugars, processed junk food, seed oils, all the highly inflammatory stuff, the more of that we get rid of, the less we have to supplement vitamins, because we can actually take out the vitamins and minerals from foods we eat. In other words, the more carbohydrates we eat, the less we can probably absorb from that food, and we therefore have to supplement with additional through a pill. Whereas if we get rid of all that crap, our body's requirements for the vitamins and minerals is less. We need less of it because we're not fighting off the inflammatory effects of carbohydrates. And therefore, what we have provided through skeletal muscle meat and the associated fats and things like milk and dairy and eggs fulfills all of our vitamin and mineral needs alone. We don't need to have anything extra on top of that, which I think is so cool. Like, you'll save so much money just by not having to go out and buy all these different supplements, which is awesome. So those are my favorite carnivore truths. What are yours? Maybe they're the same, maybe they're different. Let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys love most about, and again, whether it's actually carnivore, whether it's keto, whether it's ketovore, lion, or low carb, whatever way of animal-based eating you're following, what are your favorite things that you've learned in your journey? Let me know. Send me a message, drop a comment. I'd love to hear back from you. I always love hearing from you guys anyways. Thank you so much for your time. That is it for today. I hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.